today we're going to be explaining some of the concepts of open space. Now, I've just picked out a random SSL 1v1 replay. I think this is probably going to give us some good examples of open space, because in 1v1, open space is super obvious. Now, let me actually just make sure you can see a pen tool. There we go. So, one of the main things with open space. Okay, well, I can't. Okay, that's a problem. Let me actually just change window then. Okay, also doesn't work. Hold on, I'm struggling. This is my first time using the pen tool, alright? Surely there's a better way. Surely there's a better way. I don't have a controller on me, so I can't. What the fuck? Alright, this pen tool might suck ass. Alright. Well, hopefully I can still illustrate my point. Actually, you know what? We will go to full screen and ignore the pen tool to try to explain this. Okay, so open space is where you can hit the ball that you cannot that you can get a follow up that your opponent cannot. Now, so far this game has not had a whole lot going on. It's been mostly just it's a good save, good cap, good counter. It's unfortunate that Dribs messed up his air dribble. So what Dribs should have done here, and I can try to explain some of the open space here. So you can see, if you look, the entire left side of the field is open, right? If Dribs is the player we're watching, in case you didn't know, Dribs and KJ. So if Dribs just lowers the ball here, what he could do is he could also just get a flip reset. Well, now what he thinks is he thinks that the net is open right here because he doesn't think KJ is recovering in time. And it might have been open if he didn't have that fucking weird arrow right there and just drove straight into it and banged it. But because he did this and he's trying to air dribble, now KJ is back. And now the open space to the left is no longer there, right? Because if he lands, KJ is going to have momentum and he's going to be able to play into the ball here. So there's no more open space on the left, okay? Open space isn't just where you can see that nobody is there. That is empty space. If nobody's there, for example, on the left side right here, we can see there's empty space. No one's there, but it's not open space. You cannot take the ball there. You're not going to be able to keep possession if you take the ball there. So what Dribs tries to do is now he realizes he's fucked. So he's trying to play a 50 and save some boost so he can recover. That's what he's trying to do right now. And KJ just gets a perfect save, and Dribs uses a little bit too much boost. He's not able to recover. Kickoff. Okay. Now in this position, Dribs can see KJ is coming at him. The ball is going to be over. KJ is going to probably be to the ball first because he has more momentum, and he probably did pick up a pad from Dribs' perspective. I don't know if KJ actually did. So he's going to let him jump for it. Now, where can KJ hit this ball? Well, you can see that he's going to be hitting the left side of the ball. He's going to be hitting the ball where Dribs is driving to. So Dribs doesn't... And actually, the only place KJ is going to be able to hit this ball is to his back corner. Or to the midfield. So Dribs could already be turning towards KJ's corner right here. Which is fine. He took a little bit long to recognize that. And the bounce actually favored KJ because Dribs took so long to recognize where that ball was going to go. And now KJ is doing beautifully. Out of the ball bounces to him. Why would he take this to the left side of the field? Right? Dribs is recovering there. If he takes it to the left side, he's going to get challenged, he's going to get demoed, he's going to be depossessed. The net is probably open at this point, so he probably could have shot it. But you can also see that the entire right side of the field is open space. So he's hitting the ball to a spot on the field where he can follow up, where he can make a play. And this is perfectly fine. He did take a little bit long here with recognizing where Dribs was. Dribs with good upload. That's just gonna be open for him. He did fuck it though. And now from this perspective, Dribs is driving through because he thinks he has pretty much every touch that KJ has, because you can see how awkward KJ is. But Dribs isn't covering everything, right? KJ is still going to be able to hit this to the left. He's still going to be able to roll this up the wall. And as long as he doesn't use his boost to do that, it's going to be fine. But instead, he gives away possession, which is fine, which is also fine to do in this position, because KJ does not have a good possession, you could say. Now, I would argue that he does have a good possession, and that if he does hit this to the left side around Dribs, Dribs is not going to be able to react in time because he's way too close. And KJ is going to be able to get his corner boost. He's going to be able to have possession. That's open space behind Dribs right now, right? Because Dribs is just drive challenging. He's not trying to commit at this point in time, because that's an insane thing to do, is to commit here. I mean, even if he does, KJ is probably still going to be able to hit the ball past him fast enough, or pop it around him where Dribs cannot cover. Right now, Dribs is not able to cover to the left side of the field. Look where Dribs is turned. He's not going to be able to cover the wall. He's not going to be able to cover above him. His car is physically not able to do that. So if KJ were to pop this around him to the left and above, or just to the left and hit it around to the side, he would be able to get that boost. But he was a little worried, and he decided he's going to give away possession so he can reset on boost, which is also fine to do. Yeah, I don't know what Dribs was thinking here. He sees KJ here. I mean, he hit the ball up. Maybe he didn't think KJ was going to be pressuring him like this, but he sees KJ here. I don't know. I mean, he sees that he's not immediately challenging him, so he thinks he has time. No, you do not have time in this position. I mean, and why would you hit it directly where KJ is covering, right? KJ can only cover where Dribs is, if Dribs hit this ball straight out. If he hits this to the left side of the field, look how much open space there is. KJ is not going to get to the ground before Dribs, as long as Dribs empty jumps down, because he's going to have possession. He's going to have the advantage of being able to decide where the play goes, knowing where the play is going to go. If I were Dribs here, I don't know why I wouldn't just take this to the ground and dribble, or take this to the left side of the field on the ground. I mean, he could also just hit it. I mean, it's risky because KJ is going to get to the ground, but in this position, there is literally no reason to flip out the ball. From this position, the only place KJ can get the ball is where Dribs is hitting it. Absolutely atrocious by Dribs. He almost gets scored on because of it. Now in this position, you can see KJ's drive challenging him. This is the exact same position that Dribs was drive challenging KJ and in front of his net. If you look to the left side, completely open. Completely open, he's going to be able to get his back corner boost. Instead, he decides to cut it. And KJ is covering exactly where Dribs is taking this ball at this point in time. It's a great pop. To himself, KJ is still covering what Dribs can do with this ball, though. So it's still not dangerous for KJ. Now, KJ just did see that there was open space behind Dribs in this position. That's why he tried to bang it around, because he knew there was open space. Finally, one of them recognizes there's open space over the top of or next to the opponent here. Unfortunately, he does flip directly where Dribs is driving. He doesn't need to flip into this ball. Right here, he could have gone way earlier here. Honestly, I don't even know why he would pop it over the top of Dribs in this position. He could just take it to his back corner, right? Just take it to the left side of the field, and you're gonna have boost and possession. If Dribs tries to chase you down, you're gonna have an open net anyway, because you're gonna be able to speed up the ball from your corner. Good job from Dribs, recognizing that he does have open space here. Now, I don't know why he wouldn't just take this ball to his back corner, right? There you go. He does recognize finally that there is open space above and around the opponent, which is good. Missed the ball a little hard. Sees that now he's trying to create open space here. He's cutting down the field. He's cutting down the distance, and he's trying to create open space. He's trying to force the opponent to cover one thing so he can go around him and have that open space somewhere else on the pitch. And if you notice, KJ is covering everything right now. The only spot KJ is not covering that is open space currently in this position is in Drib's half, right? KJ's covering his corner, he's covering the net, he's covering his other corner, he's covering midfield. If Dribs catches this ball, he can cut it and take it to his back half. That's the only open space he has available to him at this moment. So he has to create it. He sees that KJ, what he's trying to do is he's trying to slow down the play so he can create more angles and have more options with the ball instead of all the momentum going in one direction and he can't change it. What he's trying to do is he's trying to give himself more options and create open space. He's not actively thinking this. This is mostly instinctual for these players because they don't think about this. But this is what he's doing. And as he gets closer to the net, KJ is still covering pretty much everything in this position. KJ is going to be a little bit awkward for like an air dribble bump, for example, or a pop bump, because he's not directly in front of the play. So that is one thing that he could probably go for. He tries to catch out KJ, but I mean, this is just never going to work. This is never going to work because KJ is covering all of this. So Dribs did well here, up to here, but he's hitting the ball directly where KJ is going to be covering. KJ is covering both of his corners, midfield and his net. Right, the only open space that Dribs has is if he takes the ball back to his corner, back to his back half, which he obviously doesn't want to do in this position, and is probably not the best idea. Probably the best idea is to try to create open space, but Dribs does not create open space. Instead, just hits the ball to KJ. He almost creates open space, but with slowing down the play, giving himself more options, but he doesn't make KJ commit on anything. KJ's not committed on anything. He's still covering everything. If Dribs actually wanted to make a play, what he could do is try to catch the ball or take a right, or I don't know. He needs to make KJ do something. He needs to show that he has one thing and make KJ commit on that one thing before he goes around him. This is just sending the ball directly where the ball is already going. Good read from KJ, recognizing finally, if you look from KJ's perspective, he's finally recognized, look, Dribs, there's finally open space over the top of Dribs to his back corner. 1 out of 3 times. He tries to hit there, gets the dunk, gets it there. Pass the ball up to himself. He's got open space in the air. Decides to bang it for some reason. I don't know why he tried to bang this. Maybe because he didn't like his setup and he figured giving away possession here was better. But I would argue, if we go back, okay, this is fine. Great touch to yourself. Now use your camera, right? Don't jump off the wall yet. Use your camera. Look where Dribs is. I mean, now he can see Dribs. I think he was already committed to hitting the ball at this point. But if you look at Dribs, Dribs is boosting back. He's having to cover the shot, so that in this position, KJ actually has he actually created open space directly underneath him. He created open space directly. He's forcing Dribs to go back to cover, so there's open space opening up between the two of them. KJ can take advantage of that. Obviously, he does not. Dribs finally recognizes open space to one of his corners. Love that. They're recognizing a little bit more in this game. Not the best touch, so he does have to give up his corner. But if you look in this position now, what is KJ covering? Right? Well, unfortunately, KJ is actually in front of the play and has momentum. So even if Dribs tries to take it to the left side of the field here, it may look open, but it's not, because KJ is going to be able to get there in time and meet him. So there is no open space for Dribs right now. He's going to need to create it. Now KJ left the play. Now he left the play. And now Dribs has complete open space on the left side of the field because KJ is no longer in front of the play. KJ is covering the right wall if Dribs wanted to take an air dribble. He's not covering the left side of the field. If Dribs wanted, he could just take this to his back corner. He can cut this ball. He can catch this ball. He's got a lot of options. He has open space now. And he does try to take it, recognize that he does have open space in midfield. And what he's trying to do now is he's trying to catch the ball and take it to the net. Honestly, it might even be an open net. He does fuck up his touch. He's trying to create open space. He does well. He does well here. He does force KJ to cover one thing and is able to go around him. So in this position, KJ is having to cover the immediate shot, the immediate flick, right? And now KJ is deciding he wants to challenge. And obviously, in this position, Dribs is going to see that there is open space behind KJ, so he's just able to flick it behind him. He could take it to the corner here, flip into the ball, take it off the sidewall, take the boost, take possession. Decides instead to take it back. Love that play as well. Recognizes that he does have open space back. Obviously, he does fuck up his control, but that was a good play. KJ also recognizing he has open space. Beautiful. Love this, love this, love this. Yeah, KJ kind of fucked up. What did he do wrong here? Because this should not be leading to this kind of awkward shit. This is beautiful. Recognizing. Knows he can't shoot it because Dribs is going to have the save here. Goes low instead because he wants to try to play a 50 so he can recover. Yeah, and then prioritize the boost steal. Okay. Perfectly fine. It looked a little awkward. He could have done more. Like, so the reason why this becomes an awkward position is because he doesn't maintain control of the ball, right? He loses control right here. He was expecting a 50, so he was trying to lose control so he could dunk Dribs. But you just don't need to, right? The goal is not to dunk your opponent most of the time. The goal is to keep possession. And with possession comes advantage. So honestly, in this position, he should have tried to pinch it or just kept with the ball here. He should have used his flip. He should have stayed with. I mean, it's risky to say he should have used his flip in this position because you don't want to give away possession. But he gave away possession anyway by just letting the ball go and then leaving. So he shouldn't have done that. He should have done something better with the play. Done something else, but it's not the end of the world. Okay. Now, I think KJ's just panicking at this point. He's trying to stop Dribs from instantly challenging. He's trying to keep possession even though he no longer has it. And honestly, in this position, he should just drive challenge. He should drive under the ball here. He should drive under Dribs. Dribs is not going to be able to do anything with this ball in this position. Dribs might be able to bang out the ball and try to follow it up, but honestly, KJ should already be underneath the ball. He should be he should not leave. He should be turning under the ball. He put himself in a bad position. Ooh, that was terrible by KJ. So KJ, I think, saw that Dribs has probably used a lot of his boost to make this play. So he thinks, and if you do have low boost, you can't cover as much open space, right? You can't speed up to cover that space. Just to access that space. If you have less boost, you have less access to defending and accessing and taking advantage of open space. So I think KJ is just deciding to bang this ball for something. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. He's giving away possession. He's trying to speed up the play, but you don't need to. Dribs is already going to be landing awkwardly anyway. Okay, Dribs is trying to buy time in this position because he's a little awkward and he has low boost. He's just trying to buy time. He thought KJ would be going for the boost steal, so he tried to hit it behind him. That's fine. In higher levels like this, open space and finding open space and creating open space is more going to be predictive than it is going to be actively seeing it. Although in this game, we have seen quite a bit of open space and a lack of taking advantage of it. And obviously, because he predicted wrong, KJ has so many options here and is able to force, and he's able to create open space on the far side of the net. He's able to create that opportunity because he makes Dribs commit to covering one thing. Dribs is now having to cover the near shot, and KJ can just shoot it to the far side. Nice, good read from KJ. Unfortunately, so KJ found almost open space, right? He knows that Dribs is going to be committing, so he knows that that's open space. Hold on, my music stopped. And we need that going. Okay, don't worry about this. Okay, so he sees that Dribs is going to be committing on this ball. He sees that Dribs cannot cover behind it. Unfortunately, KJ has 0 boost. So this would be a perfect, amazing play if he even had 12 boost. Because this is open space for him. If he had boost, he would be able to catch up to the ball. Fortunately, he doesn't have boost, so this isn't actually open space. It's more delaying. So he shouldn't stay on this ball after he hits it. Bang, he should be retreating now. This bang is just to buy time so he can get resources. Great read from Dribs. Dribs did a fantastic play here. Recognizes that KJ is really close. That's why he's not going to the ground here. So this first touch, he does not need to bang out this ball off the back wall on his first touch. He does not need to do that, right? If you look at this play, look how much space is underneath. Okay. Look how much space he has now. Right? KJ is backing off here. He's just completely backing off. Look how much open space he's gonna have. Or that Dribs is gonna have. He does not need to bang out this ball. The reason this works is because KJ doesn't have enough boost to get up in the air. But Dribs doesn't need to do this. He could take it to the ground and then go in the air. Or have many other options on the ground. He doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need to take advantage this way, but it does work because the ball is up and KJ cannot really challenge. And now you can see if Dribs loses possession here, KJ is turned in a way that allows for him to challenge. So Dribs, the only open space for Dribs in this position is in the air still. So he does well. At this point, it's still not open. If he drops the ball, KJ is going to be there instantly. He's not going to be able to get the ball to the left, to the right. KJ is going to be there. Dribs is in a fucked up position right now, and his only option is to create a flip reset and then try to either go low or go high. That's his only option in this position. He's fucked. Now, fortunately, he gets a flip reset and instantly uses it, and KJ does not cover it. For some reason, KJ didn't think he was actually going to go for the flip reset. So, big mistake by KJ. Easily could have saved that. Look how much open space is on the left and back side of the field, right? Look where KJ's covering. KJ's covering a very small portion of the field, and he doesn't have much momentum here. So he's not able to cover as much of the field as if he were at full supersonic speed. The entire back half is open. The corner boost is open. The entire midfield is open. Okay? That's all open space for Dribs in this position. And in 2s and 3s, we're not going to get to that today, but in 2s or 3s, open space is usually going to rely with your teammates and if they have open space in front of them. Right? If an opponent is directly on your teammate, obviously it's not open space if you try to pass it to your teammate because the opponent's just going to be there anyway. And your teammate's not going to be able to make an outplay around them. But usually it's going to rely with your teammates. Now back to ones. Now, Dribs goes to the air here because he recognizes that he can. And then he's going to have a lot of options going in the air because he's going to be able to get a flip reset. He's going to be able to go threaten double dribble. He's going to be able to threaten an air dribble. He's going to be able to threaten going back down to the ground. He's going to be able to threaten a 50. Okay, he's got many options in this position. He's not, and it's uncontested area. It is open space in the air here because KJ is not covering the air. Now, as soon as KJ jumps here, where is the open space? It's probably going to be the backboard, right? Which Dribs does find beautiful. I don't know why he's jumping for this ball like this. Hit this to your back corner. A lot of players, and apparently even these guys, are struggling with, they want to get the ball turned around and going to the net as fast as possible. No, you don't need to do that. Take this to your back corner. Take this to your back corner. Keep possession. What the fuck was the point of that? Okay, ball goes to your back corner anyway. Now you have a lot of space. Beautiful. Now, Dribs did try to take this ball to the right side of the field. There was a little bit, a millisecond of open space on the right side of the field because KJ is chasing this down, right? There's a lot of open space where KJ is not immediately covering on the left side. So if Dribs is able to cut this immediately to the right and take it to the other side, that is open space, right? Unfortunately, he's not able to get a good first touch. Okay. Now, KJ doesn't know how to fucking shadow for shit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why he's creating such an angle for himself. He's putting himself in such a bad position the entire time. He's just not covering where the ball can go. And Dribs does recognize that this is just going to be open over his head because KJ can't get there. And it's a great flick to capitalize on the mistake. So, if you want to know how to dribble and what KJ is actually doing wrong here and why this was a goal, look at where KJ's positioned, right? KJ is not covering his net. KJ is covering his back corner. That's not what you should be doing. You shouldn't be trying to force your opponent to go for your net. You should be trying to force your opponent to go to one of your corners because your corners are much safer than in front of your net, right? And honestly, your corners, you're pretty much going to win every single 50, every single challenge in that corner. So you really shouldn't be trying to force your opponents to not go to your corner. You'd be trying to force them to go to your corners. So what KJ's doing right now, can Dribs go to his back right? No. Can he go to his back left? No, because KJ's in front of him. But what KJ should be doing is he should be trying to show you can try to go to one of my corners. I'm not covering that. Obviously, KJ's gonna be able to meet him in the corner and get a 50, but KJ should be first thought in front of the ball. He should be directly in front. Look, I'll show you where. This right here is where KJ should be. This is where KJ should be. This is where the ball is going to go. This is the direct opposite side. Where the fuck is KJ? Not here. He's way over there for some reason. It just leaves his net open. Okay, I don't know why Dribs did that. That was not the best play. Okay, he knows that KJ also landed towards this direction, and he's worried about KJ being able to recover to this ball. So, and he doesn't have much boost, so he's just trying to give the ball away to empty space and buy himself time to get resources. But he doesn't need to in this position. He could. I don't know why he drove so far past the ball. I mean, because he's trying to hit it forward into empty space. What he could do is just hit this ball to his back corner, right? If he's worried about the mid boost, don't go for the mid boost. Hit this ball to your back corner. Instead, he gives away possession. KJ almost on goals. Sees open space on the right, takes advantage of it. Unfortunately, he acts extremely slow and just let Dribs challenge him. Sees open space over Dribs. Beautiful. Keeps possession. Uses so much boost for some reason. He thinks he's speeding up the play and going to put Dribs in an awkward position. Does not need to speed up the ball that much in that position. Dribs is not going to be there. Doesn't need to use his boost. Tries to get around Dribs. fine idea. Whatever. Get behind the ball. Why are we creating such an angle? Oh my. And it's gonna work out for him, and he's gonna think that this is a good way to play the game. Oh my god. No, so KJ again, he should be behind the ball, right? Why is KJ on the left right here? What the fuck is he covering? What the fuck is he covering? Now, obviously, Dribs just like passes in the ball because he got nervous, and that's why it's a goal. So like here, right here, Dribs is fucked again, like the last time. There's no open space for him. Like the only chance he has is to get a flip percent and threaten options. He's fucked in this position, and he tries to pop it over, tries to buy himself time, tries to hit an empty space, but KJ's covering it. KJ did shadow like shit though, I'm not gonna lie. He really shouldn't be on the side of the ball there. It's a great save. So this is the only time I will say bang the ball away. Bang the ball away to open space. And they've been doing it a few times and I've said it's fine. But this is a really good example. When you cannot keep control, when you cannot have possession, when you cannot hit the ball to open space and it's not safe. Giving the ball away, hitting the ball away to empty space to buy yourself time to recover, buy your team time to reset and get resources is your only option. That is the only time you ever want to do this. Okay. Now Dribs is trying to recover and trying to apply pressure. I don't hate it. People defend open space in different ways. Good read on the bump. He's gonna get bumped. Got a good read. Nice. Okay. I'm a little lost on what Dribs was doing. I think he was more worried about getting bumped and immediately getting scored on, which is something you do have to worry about. But look where KJ's gonna land, man. Why is Dribs like this? Take the ball to your left corner. Okay, he plays the 50. Fine, he's trying to buy time for himself. Tries to get around the bump. I mean, at this point, if it's too risky and you can't take this to open space, bang this ball out to empty space and regain, right? But he thinks he has time and he's trying to control it, but I mean, come on, man. Come on. We gotta react way faster than that. We gotta play way faster. Either take it to the back corner or bang it out. If you're not comfortable, get that ball away and reset. If you know you can get possession, keep possession. Just keep possession. Beautiful read on where KJ was gonna jump. Don't think much needs to be said about this. Predicts that KJ is gonna be pre-jumping his air dribble. Shoots where he can't cover. Makes him commit to one thing. And takes advantage on the other. Take it to your back corner. What the fuck? Bro, he just need to flip back and take that to his back corner. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. What did I just witness? Alright, I'm not watching that back. I don't know what the fuck that was. Yeah. Get the boost. Yeah. He's fucked. He missed the boost. He can't do anything. He's trying to cover as much as possible. It's a good moment for where the open space is, though. If KJ misses the boost, what can he cover here? Right? You have the entire field. The entire field. The only thing KJ is covering is his corner. Just flick the ball. Unfortunate kickoff. What happened? What did he do wrong on the kickoff? Yeah, I just tried to delay it and did not work because KJ pushed the ball to the side. Okay, I don't know why KJ did not need to pop this ball forward, and it's super risky to do. I get he wanted the boost, but maybe he was trying to fake it actually. That would make sense if he's trying to fake it. But popping this ball forward is terrible because now Dribs can actually challenge this ball, and Dribs actually should have probably challenged that ball. Or I mean, Dribs couldn't challenge that, but there's one of those situations where it was like, why would you do that? And give the opponent an opportunity or a chance to. So I don't know why we're playing so slow, right? We're trying to create options for ourselves, but they have to be real options. They have to be options you can actually execute on. By playing slow in this position, what are your options that you... So what are you threatening, right? You're threatening a long shot here. So you're forcing Dribs to have to cover the long shot. Okay, now what are you covering here? You're covering a power shot, right? You're threatening a power shot. Is it an actual thing you can execute on? If it is, go for it. Right? Why do we stop? Why did we stop? Right? If you're threatening a shot and you can't actually take that shot before they challenge you, then it's not an option. It's not an actual option of yours. It's not something you're actually threatening. That's why possession and open space is about real options that you can take advantage of, the real options that you can execute upon. Okay, Dribs does not need to do this. I don't know why he's trying to take the look. There's open space behind KJ right now. Dribs can just cut this and take a left behind KJ, right? And he just decides to drive straight into KJ. KJ could have just challenged there. Now there's open space to the... Well, there's empty space over. You're actually giving away possession if you hit this ball forward and to the right, because KJ is up in front of the play. So you're just giving away. KJ does well there, trying to hit it to his back corner. Fortunately, he gets undercut. But this was good from KJ, trying to keep possession here. He just forgot to boost and got undercut. Dribs sees him challenge and hits it around. Overall, these players didn't do too bad. They didn't do too bad. There was a lot of errors, but in general, they predicted open space. They try to create open space. There was some actual brain involved in this game, but there was also equally as much fundamental open space just missing in their brains, just missing in their thoughts. You can obviously tell that these guys haven't really been coached. It's more just grind the game, and over time get better and better, and rank goes up and skill goes up. Not so much playing for a purpose, just playing to go up. Not playing to do anything or to improve in any way, just playing to go up the ranks. And I think if you want to become the best version of you possible in this game, you need to play for a purpose. I mean, that works for anything in life. You need to play specifically for something. Play specifically to that open space. You need to have something that you're doing. Don't go to work and just do something because do something, you know? If you want to become the best worker or employee you want to be, then you need to be doing something towards something else, right? Don't just walk aimlessly. Pick a path.